Hey friends, welcome back to the channel everyone. In today's episode, we are going to discuss about the new project that we will be doing in this new project series. So let me tell you that in this project, we are going to use Android native development, that is Android Studio and Kotlin programming language. I know most of you may be trained in Java, but I highly recommend you to switch to Kotlin before learning Android app development, as there is a lot of scope in Android native Android app development by learning Kotlin programming language. And also in future you need to move to Kotlin. And for the backend part, we are going to use Node.js and Express framework, obviously. Along with it, for the database, we will be using MongoDB. Now it is a NoSQL database that is widely used, and it is one of the most commonly used NoSQL databases. Okay, so using Node.js is quite easy with MongoDB, and also like it won't take much to set up a basic backend stuff for our Android app. So in this project, what we are going to do is we are going to create a simple registering system with the login username and password. Okay, so there will be three screens. One will be showing your profile section, that is all the details and all, and the second screen is for the sign in, and the third one is for registration, that is for the users who are coming first time and who wants to get registered. Okay, so first start by creating an Android project. Start a new Android Studio project. Here you are having several options. Now by default empty activity is selected, and we are going to use empty activity by default. Click next, and here you have some options, like you can give a name to your application, package name, and save location, and the last option is Kotlin. Okay, this save location, and in this last option there is language option. You can select Java, but as we are using Kotlin, we will be selecting Kotlin here. Here it is asking us minimum SDK. I am selecting API 19 Android 4.4 KitKat. Usually I don't support KitKat version. I select at least API level 20, but for this project we will be selecting Android 4.4 KitKat. Now it is saying you that whenever you select API level, that is the minimum Android version your app is going to support. Here it will say something about the percentage of devices our app will be supporting. So here it is saying your app will run on approximately 98.1% of devices. That is a lot of devices. Okay, so we are going to, so it is saying us that basically by supporting the at least the minimum API level of 19 or Android 4.4 KitKat, we are going to make an app that may run approximately on 98.1% devices. Now remember that it is saying approximately, so it is, this one is not an exact figure. Okay, so the last option you are having is use legacy Android support libraries. Now I am going to leave this unchecked, as we are not going to use legacy Android support libraries. We will be using Android X. Now click finish button to get your project ready. Before I click the finish button, let me rename my application to something else. Now I am naming it as Stir System. Okay, and I'm going to change the package name as well. Click finish to create your project. Now it will take some time to build the project, and leave it as it is, because at this moment don't alter the options and all. In the very bottom you can see the background task the Android is doing. It will take some time. Leave it as it is, and if it is taking a little longer, leave it. It is usual for Android Studio to take some time in beginning to set up your project and everything, so leave it as it is. Okay, so our project is ready. By default, you see main activity class here. Now this is the starting point of our Android application. If you want to see the configurations of your Android app, here you have manifest folder, expand it, and you can see Android manifest.xml file. Now this XML file holds important information about the starting point of your application and all the activities of your application. Here you have label, that is the display name of your app, and here you have Android allow backup true, so this is some different thing. We will discuss each of these in some later videos. And here it is saying Android support RTL is true. Now it is right to left layout, so in many of the Middle Eastern countries this is right to left layout. I mean they write from right to left. So if you enable it true, the Android will support that type of writings and the other stuff. Now don't change anything in this manifest file, because changing something might uh, spoil your project completely. Okay, so this is the basic Android app. uh, Here you have package name, and click on these three dots, that is the import uh, the necessary files we are going to import for this project. You can click on this plus icon or click on these three dots and see all the necessary files that have been imported by Android Studio by default in our project. So here you have class main activity, okay, which extends app compact activity. Now let me show you that if you want to use Android X, you can click on this Gradle scripts folder, click build.gradle, and the other file build.gradle module app. Click on it, and here you can see all the dependencies of your application. We are using Android X here. Now what is Android X? Basically, it is a set of libraries that help you support many different versions of Android, even the other versions that are not easily compatible with your application. You can support those devices, and all the other necessary libraries will be added individually in this dependencies section. So let me close these files, and we will, for most of the part of our project, we will be working on these Kotlin and .xml files in our resource and layout directory. So first we will create a sign up layout for our application. So sign up is where the user will come and register with our app. Okay, so expand this resource directory here, click on the layout. Now this folder will be holding all the layout files. Here we can see our activity main.xml file, and by default there is a label here, text view placed with the content hello world. Remove this. To remove this, click on it and press backspace. It is gone. By default, the main layout, the root layout of your activity is constant layout. We will be keeping this as it is and adding a fragment or a frame layout here. So why we are adding frame layout? Basically, we are going to have one activity, that is main activity, and the rest three of the fragments, that is sign up, sign in, and user profile fragment. We will be placing these fragments in this main activity itself. So for that we will be using frame layout. Drag the frame layout and leave it on the screen in the constant layout. By default you will see something at an error, that is Android Studio is saying us that we are missing some constraints. So on the right side on the attributes panel you can see that not horizontally constant and not vertically constant. Basically we have to add constraints for any element or a layout in constant layout to position it properly. So you can click on these plus buttons here in the attributes panel to add constraints to your frame layout. Click on the right side and set it as 0. Click here on the left side and set it as 0. Now click on this plus icon showing in the upper direction, click on it and set this one as well to 0, and at last set the bottom one also to 0. We want our frame layout to expand the entire visible area of our main activity. Now our frame layout is positioned very well. Also change the width to match constraint and also the height to match constraint. Now what will this do? By selecting this settings, we are basically telling the frame layout that to expand whole into the constraint layout. Our constraint layout is set to match parent. That means that will be by default set to the visible area of the its height and width will be set to the visible area of the mobile screen. And the same goes with frame layout. Frame layout is positioned in constraint layout, and as we set all the constraints to 0, that means there will be no distance between the boundaries of frame layout and the constraint layout, and it fills the entire screen. Now scroll up in the attributes panel and you can see here ID. At the very top you can see that it is a icon that is indicating it is a frame layout, and there it is saying in the angle brackets that it is unnamed. Okay, so now we are going to give it an ID. I am naming it as main frame layout. So now let's go back to the Java folder and our package folder and right click on it and select new. You are having some options here: Java class, Kotlin file or class. Click on the second option and you will be having a text input where you can name your class. So I am naming it as sign in fragment, sorry, sign up fragment. Select class here and press enter. The Android Studio will create a class. Basically it is an empty class with the name sign up fragment. Now coming back to the layout folder, right click on it, click new, and here you are having some options. The first one is Kotlin file or class, that we did just now, and click on the second option to create a layout resource file. Now what is a layout resource file? Layout resource file is basically a file in which we will be going to define the UI part of our application, and the code part of our application or the application logic will be interacting with this. Click on it and you will be having a menu to create a new layout file. We are going to name our file sign up fragment. You can't have spaces or capital letters in the names, so I am going to use underscore between the words. Click OK to create your layout file. And in this also we have by default constraint layout as the root layout, that is the layout in which all the layout and widgets we are going to put. Now basically we have a main activity, a sign up fragment, layout file and a class. our sign up fragment. Now in order to connect this fragment file to the fragment class, we have to make this class inherit the or extend the fragment class. So before doing that, we need to import the androidx.fragment.app.fragment class. Okay. So now our sign up fragment class is extending the fragment class. So in order to put this layout or attach it, this sign up fragment layout file to the sign up fragment class, we will be overriding a method. Click Command N or Control N on your keyboard and go to override methods. Press enter and you will be having some methods that can be override. Now press on create. Here you have on create view, layout inflator, container, view group and saved instances. Click OK and your method is overridden. Now the return type of this method is a view. So I am going to create a variable with the name variable mView, which is of the type view and it can be null. So remove this line, return super dot on create view. Now in this view, we are going to place the layout of our sign up fragment layout file that we created just now. Layout inflator dot inflate. That means in this view the layout file is inflated, and this means that the UI from the file is taken and inflated in this view. Now the first argument or here is that the layout resource. So for that r.id dot r dot layout, as we are going to inflate layout dot sign up fragment. So this is the layout file we created just now, and here is the view group. So here we are going to add container. Now this container refers to the view of our frame layout that we put in the main activity layout file, and the third argument is basically a boolean type where we are saying it to attach to the root. Now I am going to place this as a false. Okay, so here is the argument attached to root, that way I am setting it as false, and I encourage you to do the same. Now we are going to return this mView in the override on create function. Return mView. Now that we have our fragment ready, now when our app starts, by default we want this fragment to be shown in the main activity. For that we need to switch to the main activity.kt file here in the onCreate method. Now this onCreate method executes as soon as our view is created. Here you have to create a variable here, and I am going to name it sign up fragment is sign up fragment. Okay, so we are calling the sign up fragment class constructor here, and basically we are creating an object from this sign up fragment class. So in order to put this sign up fragment in the frame layout we placed in the main activity file, I am talking about this one here. We set the which we set the constraints for, and click support fragment type here support fragment manager dot begin transaction dot replace r dot id dot main frame layout. Now this is the frame layout in which we are going to replace its content with the fragment, and here we are going to pass our sign up fragment object. Okay, now the basic setup of our sign up fragment is complete. Now we are going to run our application. Before running our application we need an emulator to run our application. Alternatively you can connect your phone or any Android device and run this. I have made a emulator by default. I have downloaded it and set it up. So here I am having Pixel to XL which is having API level 25. Pixel C, this one is for a tablet, and Pixel XL API 25, this is for some device that is not so long, not neither too narrow. Okay, so for this project I am going to select Pixel to XL which is having API level 25. Click on it. If you don't know how to create an emulator, you can click here on the on this icon. Basically it is a phone showing with a little Android icon here which is AVD manager, that is Android virtual device manager. Click on it, and here you can see the virtual devices. If you don't see any, or if you haven't made any device yet, you can click here on the create virtual device option to create one. Click on it, and here you are having many options here. So select anyone. I recommend you to select the Pixel to XL API 25 and create one. Click on the next and follow the on-screen instructions to create this. I am not creating as I have already created. Now before starting this application on the new virtual device, I am going to format this device. I am going to click here this arrow button and wipe data to completely format it. So I am going to click this run button to run my app, and that is going to run on Pixel to XL API level 25 Android virtual device. Now at the first it will take some time to start, but once it started the app will load faster. As you have seen that I have formatted it just now and it is starting for the first time, so it is going to take some time. Now our Android Studio saying that Gradle invocation finished, that is our app is ready to deploy. And here in the status bar you can see waiting for all target devices to come online. Now basically these are the devices that are in which we are going to run our application. Here you can see that the install progress bar has already started, which is basically showing us the progress of our app installation on this virtual device. See, our device is started, and it is basically just like any other Android smartphone with all the necessary stuff. And yeah, we have our Android application here with name register system here, and you can see that it has a very colorful layout here. We need to for and in the starting it is quite plain, but later on we can add many other widgets or layouts. We will be discussing that in the future videos as well of this project series. Now here it is saying that install successfully finished in 19 seconds and 324 milliseconds.